Hey guys, Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC and bhspringsolutions.com, and this video is on account of our promotion. About the third week of October we're in here, and we have a promotion that is buy a BH Spring Solutions optimizing spring kit for your high power pistol and you get a free convertible ambidextrous tactical magazine release for your high power and an upgrade of the 17 and 18 pound progressive recoil springs. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you're wondering, how do I get in on these kind of opportunities to get free stuff from BH Spring Solutions? Basically, you just need to be a subscriber to our email newsletter, and you can do that by going to bhspringsolutions.com. At the top of the page in the horizontal bar, click on newsletter. You'll include your email address, and we'll start sending the information to you in your email. And from time to time, we do for our BH veterans. BH veterans are our past customers and subscribers to our email newsletter. We do these kinds of opportunities where you can get free stuff from us, and this is always stuff that is things that we have had excellent feedback on from customers, but we're looking to get the usage increased and wider in the marketplace, and more folks talking about it. So that's what this is all about. And without continuing on with that anymore, I do want to share an email that we just received, and I couldn't even ever tell you how many of these we've received over the last 7 years, but it's just from a friend of ours. He said he purchased a full replacement BH Spring Solutions optimizing spring set for his high power. He says never would have been able to have done that without the mainspring tool and third hand tool and retaining plate tool. And of course those are exclusive high power tools for disassembly and assembly that we have at BH Spring Solutions. And he said, I went to the range today for the first time after the replacement, and wow, I was more accurate at 25 yards, more accurate in tighter groups of 2 to 3 rounds at 10 to 15 yards, and I would like to think I magically got better, but humbly admit it is your spring kit. Thanks again, Bob. And that's really what got us into business in the very first place, is how we could take an out-of-the-box new high power like this one and optimize it and have it perform just all around better in a long list of ways. Right now, a BH Spring Solutions optimizing spring kit means more because you're getting more than just the spring kit. I want to talk real quickly though about why do we have spring kits where you can replace every spring in your entire gun. Probably the best reason for that we found about 3 years ago, when we did 6,000 rounds of testing, ultimately 8,200 rounds of testing when it was all finished, out of the TISAS BR9 Turkish high power. And we measured the resistance remaining in the springs after the 6,000 rounds. And here's what we found. That extractor spring under your extractor, the one that's always the one that causes the first malfunctions in high powers because it's the most overworked and is the one that always goes away first. In 6,000 rounds of firing, there was no detectable loss of resistance in that spring. What that means is when your extractor spring needs replaced after 12 years or 15 years at the very most, or you start having malfunctions occasionally or chronically, that's not from firing. That's just because the spring was installed. We've proven that use and round count with, for example, the extractor spring has nothing to do with the remaining life of that spring whatsoever. After 6,000 rounds, our recoil spring in that TISAS had 96 or 97% of its remaining of its initial resistance factor. The firing pin spring, however, lost 11%. It had 89% of its original strength left. And so what that proved was your firing pin spring goes away from use. Your extractor spring goes away from installation. Your recoil spring goes away or loses its resistance over time because of both use and because of installation. So you've got these springs that are wearing in and ultimately, losing some of their power factor or their resistance factor for different reasons. And that means you don't continue long-term the balance in the high-power pistol. If you're shooting at some and it's stored and the springs are all installed, they don't wear the same. They don't wear or don't wear out at the same rate or for the same reasons. And that's the reason why replacing all of your BH spring or all of your springs in your high power with BH Spring Solutions optimized recoil springs, or I'm sorry, optimized complete gun springs, pays so many dividends in so many ways. Not just in accuracy, but in function and performance and felt recoil. And the ability, the ease of which, for example, you can rack the slide, the trigger pull, break weight. It's an all-around betterment, and that's what the BH Spring Solutions optimizing spring kits in essence do. I've got a couple of clear unloaded high powers. I've got one here. This is a new in the box Browning high power that has never been fired. Everything's original in it, and this is one of our masterpieces that we've made in the BH Custom Shop Service Department. And I'm going to give you just an example of what some of these components do for you. The measured trigger pull break weight on this new in the box high power is like 8.5 pounds. You see condition 1 because this is not SFS, this is the traditional operating system. You also notice something here. You see I hit the mag release and the magazine's still there, so we got to pull that out. That is common in high powers right out of the box for them to hold on to the magazine, so you don't make fast magazine changes with these the way that they came out of the box. This one with the convertible tactical ambidextrous magazine catch from BH Spring Solutions. This one changes things a little bit. First of all, the spring inside is not nearly so much of a brick for my thumb to hit. The other thing is the traditional magazine release in the high power is a single side. This one has an ambi side lever to it, and it is right there. Now, that ambi side lever can be removed. That's what makes it convertible, and it's just as fast as what I'm going to show you here. That lever slides right off. We reinstall the magazine catch, and now we have a single side without the lever. So it's convertible. It can be used as traditional, but it has a more tactical spring inside. It's easier for my thumb to manipulate that magazine release when I reach for it. And now this high power does have the BH Advanced Trigger Subassembly with magazine eject assist as well. So you see what a difference when we hit that magazine release, as opposed to over here the thumb kind of encounters a brick that's actually hard to get to with these grips, but encounters a brick, the magazine is held. My left hand has to pull the magazine out. My left hand should be holding my replacement magazine by this time. However, I'm going to have to use my left hand in order to extract that magazine, whereas when we combine the tactical convertible ambidextrous magazine catch with the BH Advanced Trigger, we have positive ejection, and obviously you're going to complete much faster magazine changes. The 17 and 18 pound progressive recoil spring, we introduced these here in the last 45 days at the time that we're making this video, has become one of our most very popular products. The emails we get from guys, and it is a lot the same sentiments from a lot of them. They share that they do have a little bit of a challenge with arthritis at times, and these progressive recoil springs, they are going to make your high power easier to rack. And they are still going to control recoil in a similar fashion and a similar effectiveness as the traditional recoil springs that we've always made for the high power pistol. But just in the spring kit, the convertible magazine release, and the progressive recoil springs, just a long list of betterments in every high power when you install these components. And we just wanted to share what a cool promotion we've got going on right now. This one ends this coming Sunday. But for those of you who are watching this after that date, these YouTube videos have sometimes a very long life. Don't miss out on the future promotions that we do at BH Spring Solutions, where you will pick up one thing and you'll get more than you purchased in the way of some free things from bhspringsolutions.com. Guys, thanks for watching. My name is Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC and bhspringsolutions.com.